Baker Mayfield is a controversial cat. I love it. And I think a lot of us love or either love to hate controversial athletes because for them, the stakes are always high. I mean, it's the reason I've watched every single Floyd Mayweather fight since Ricky Hatton, even though I was 99.9% sure he was going to win every one of them. He talked so much that the bar is so damn high that even though this is basically an exhibition match for this cat, I'm still watching like this. These controversial athletes make enemies because of their words, actions, lack of words, etc. So when they take the field, court, get in a boxing ring, what have you, all the fans and the haters are watching intently. It makes for a great story. And when these athletes rise above the boring and repetitive, politically correct sports arena that we normally get, it just makes their accomplishments that much better. And similar to like the Johnny Manziel before him, man, Baker Mayfield has done just that. Whether it's this viral dancing video, viral arrest video, this other viral video, Baker Mayfield has risen above it all and won the 2017 Heisman Trophy. I mean, college football's top honor as far as individual awards go, because some people will say, well, the championship. Individual awards, man. He's thrown for over 4,300 yards this year. 41 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. And he's got his team sitting in the college football playoff with an opportunity to win a national championship. But go ahead, kick back in your seat, because today I'm going to tell you a story about how this season almost never happened.
Yeah, I'm no quitter, 'cause I'ma go get her.
Alright, now before we jump into the video, I want to give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, SeatGeek. SeatGeek is an app that has access to tickets from all over the internet. And they give that access to you right at your fingertips, making buying simple. They put a score of 1 to 100 on each ticket, letting you know the quality of the deal that you get. One of the doper features is you can preview the view from any seat that you may be selected. That way you already know what it's gonna look like before you even get there. So if you plan on attending any game, click the link in the description, download the app, and make sure you use my code FlemLo for $20 off your first purchase. So before Baker Mayfield won the 2017 Heisman Trophy and gained major recognition, he went unrecognized by almost every team in the country. Coming out of high school, Baker Mayfield was a low 3-star pick who only had offers to FAU, Rice, and New Mexico. But Baker decided to go his own route and make his own way. Being a Texas kid, he actually decided to walk on at Texas Tech. But before the football season even started, the starting quarterback for Tech went down with an injury. Baker found himself #1 on the depth chart and became the first quarterback in FBS history to start the season opener at quarterback as a true freshman walk-on. He was lighting it up in the air raid offense. He started out the season 5-0 with 1,500 yards through the first 5 games, but then the same fate that had come for the starting quarterback before him, now was coming for Baker. He got injured. Now here's where things started to spiral a little bit, alright? So Baker says that his coach at the time, Cliff Kingsbury, had pretty much just casted him to the side after he got hurt. When I got hurt, there was no communication between me and my coach. When I got healthy, I didn't know why I wasn't playing right away. At that time, we were losing a couple games in a row, and I was still clueless as to why I wasn't playing. That was really frustrating to me because I started the first 5 games and we won. So I just didn't really know exactly what he was thinking or what the situation was. Now Baker did eventually get his starting spot back toward the end of the season, but by then the 5-0 record had turned into a 7-3 record. Baker felt that they had held him out way too long, and he was actually back from injury and ready to play quite a few weeks earlier than they actually brought him back in. He felt that had they put him back in as soon as he was ready to go, they wouldn't have lost all 3 of those games that they lost. Maybe he's right, maybe he isn't, we'll never know, but I'll say this, during those first 5 games, the most notable team that Baker beat was TCU. They were ranked number 24 at the time. Now 2 of their 3 losses that came when Baker was still out came to a number 17 Oklahoma and a number 18 Oklahoma State. Would Baker have been able to lead Texas Tech to wins versus those teams? Who knows? Now like I said earlier, Baker did get his starting job back and he started the last 2 games of the regular season. Unfortunately, he lost both of those games. Now one of those was versus a number 4 ranked Baylor team. And Texas Tech had just slid out of the top 25 the game before Baker's return. During those last couple of losses, man, Baker had noticeably lost a lot of confidence. I think there was a pretty good bit of tension between Baker and the coaching staff at that point. It has been said that Baker's dad could be a bit of a pain. That's been from multiple different coaches. TCU said something about that, and then later on Texas Tech would say something about that as well. Now, nobody has come out directly and said this, so this is speculation, but just based on kind of how everybody's talking around this, it seemed like his dad might have been pressuring the coaching staff to start Baker, you know, after that injury a little bit sooner. Maybe they was holding him out because they didn't want him to feel like he could just control the team like that. We all kind of know how that goes. Either way, going into the bowl game, Coach Kingsbury told Baker that he would be competing with 2 other Tech quarterbacks for the starting job in the Holiday Bowl. And at that point, Baker wasn't trying to hear it. Baker also stated that he had not been offered a scholarship for the spring. And if that's true, that's a damn travesty. Like, what are we doing? But Coach Kingsbury came out and said that Baker and his dad both knew that Baker would be offered a scholarship for the spring, but there was nothing in writing. And we know that for a fact based on what you'll see as we move on in the story. So anyway, at this point, Baker was hell-bent on transferring. And not just to any school, to a Big 12 school. Now, the NCAA rule says a player who transfers, if they haven't already graduated, must sit out a year before returning to in-game action. Now, the year that they have to sit out is considered an academic year in residence. So essentially, the player receives a red shirt for that season, and then they get an extra year tacked on to the end of their career. Standard stuff, cool. But the Big 12 has a rule that if you transfer within the conference, you lose that year of eligibility, in addition to having to sit out that year. Now, here's what sucks. The school that you leave has control over this, bro. They can actually waive the loss of eligibility. So basically, they can say, oh, he's good, give him that year eligibility back. Or if they feel jaded, which in this situation, you're looking at rivalry, you know, in-conference type of situations, all they gotta do is sign a paper, but they can choose to not do that, and then that year eligibility is gone. They can even control whether or not the school that you go to is allowed to put you on scholarship or not that first year. And for a while, Texas Tech actually kept Oklahoma from putting Baker Mayfield on scholarship, but they did eventually relent and go ahead and allow the man to finally get the scholarship that they didn't give him. I know it's competition, everybody's trying to win, but bruh, these schools and coaches could be pretty damn petty. Speaking of petty, check this out, right? So the next year, this is during 2014, the year that Baker has to sit out at Oklahoma. Oklahoma has to go on the road to play Texas Tech. In a move that wasn't smart at all, Baker goes to a local restaurant, orders some tacos. But by the time they figure out who he is, they kick him out, man. Didn't even let him finish his food. I mean, damn, bro. Again, not a smart move by Baker, but he should still have the right to eat at a damn restaurant, man. Crazy. Anyway, fast forward, 2015, Baker Mayfield gets the starting job at Oklahoma. Now, at that point, according to the rule, Baker Mayfield should have only had 2 years of eligibility, meaning that at the end of the last season, 2016, that should have been it for him. But something crazy happened. The Big 12 actually changed a rule in favor of a player. And the rule actually makes sense. I know, it's unbelievable. They changed the rule to say that a walk-on player can transfer within conference and not lose a year of eligibility. Now, doesn't that make sense? If he's not on scholarship in the first place, how can you then keep another school from putting him on scholarship and he lose a year of eligibility? That's insane. But now the catch is this. It only works if you have not been offered a written scholarship at the time that you elect to transfer. So if you're offered a written scholarship before you elect to transfer, you lose that year eligibility, you're hit. But if you elect to transfer before you're offered a written scholarship, you're good to go. So if you're a walk-on and you think about transferring, you need to keep that to yourself until you actually do the paperwork. Because according to the rule, if they offer you a written scholarship first, you're hit. Now, if all you care about is the scholarship in the first place, you're only threatening to transfer to get the scholarship, then it's kind of a win-win. But these rules are tricky, bro. You gotta pay attention. Anyway, like we stated earlier, Baker had not received a written scholarship offer, so he was granted that extra year of eligibility. And at this point, we all know what he did with it. he won a Heisman Trophy. And he might just take it another step and win a national championship. The opportunity is there. So if you want to talk about improbable Heisman winners, this has got to be toward the top of the list. If not for the rule change, Baker couldn't even play college football this year. And that's the end of the story. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, share the video, subscribe if you're brand new. My name is FlemLo. Raps my holla at you next time, bros.
Yeah, you never know